All right, welcome to Hardstyle Maniacs episode 2. I am Biggest Big Rob.
Yo, DJ Magic, what's up?
And we got another great show for you guys. A little bit different here. We're going to be focusing more on more in-depth conversation in terms of not the process of booking artists, but, the overall perception of the current market, the way it is. We got some great new music, and we're just going to get right into it. So first and foremost, DJ Magic, I understand you were out and about this weekend.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend. I got to be honest, it was my first time seeing Illenium as a headliner, and it was an amazing show. He's not necessarily my flavor of tea, if you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't. I do have actually some of his music on my playlist, but he's not someone that I would necessarily normally go see. But a bunch of my friends decided to go check him out, and I'm glad we did. It was 6 hours, broken into 3 different sets, and the last, yeah.
One artist, one headliner.
Yeah, there was one opener that played for I think an hour and a half before, kind of getting everybody warmed up and whatnot. As it was getting dark, the SoFi Stadium has a dome that they put up, and so the lasers and the fire show and all that, you had to really wait until later on in the evening. I don't know why they started at 4:30 anyways. That seemed
It was
hella.
30.
Yeah. It started at 4:30, but the thing was whenever I bought the tickets originally from Ticketmaster, it said 4:30 to 8:30, and when they actually announced the lineup, it went till 11. So that was cool. That was a lot more reasonable, I thought, but I still didn't understand why they started at 4:30. The opener started at 4:30, and there wasn't a lot of people there. Obviously, people still had to get off of work, right? That was the first thing that I thought. I was like, damn, this is hella early, but. It was amazing. The light show was really cool. They gave out these little wristbands with these little lights on them, and the light show, everybody in the audience was a part of the light show then, and it went with the
ambience of the lighting.
Cadence. Yeah. The cadence of the music as well. He mixed it up. Besides just having his music, his catalog, he also played other people's. There was a little bit of drum and bass, and there was a couple hardstyle, just little pieces that he had dropped in there. I think that one of the real reservations that I have about his music is just it's a slower tempo, and I'm just used to such a higher tempo music, you know what I mean? So there's so much more energy with it. But
Sure.
to see the crowd was just really into it, and just awesome energy the whole night. So yeah, it was really cool. I was glad that we went. The one thing that I was, obviously we'll talk about it a little bit later, but people hopefully understand that there's a lot of responsibility that comes with these shows, and it was really cold yesterday, so I don't understand why, actually I feel bad for some of the people, you got to dress up for these shows, and damn, it's 40 degrees outside. What are you doing?
Seen the girls out there.
Yeah, I got my jacket on. I'm all just
all they got is pasties and a scarf, basically.
Exactly. So it was a lot of fun. I didn't end up getting to go to the exchange after all because my sister, who went with me to Illenium, ended up getting sick. So we ended up making sure that she got back to the hotel and on her flight to get home on time. But it really was an amazing show. I don't know if we'll have time for any clips for that later or not, but you'll be able to check me out on both Instagram and Facebook, and you can see some of my highlights for the night there. DJ Magic.
What's your handle there for Instagram?
DJ Magic.
DJ Magic.
MAJC for sure.
Damn, that's simple. It's not that hard, guys. Just go ahead. But we're very excited too. This week I've been working hard as well. I've been trying to get the website up, and very exciting stuff here. Coming home from work every day, putting in some work, and I've got something pretty decent here. But let me show you something real quick. Before we get into the website unveiling here, a little shout out to Axiom Network, for always supporting the Hardstyle Maniacs events here. So here's a little quick plug for them.
Axiom, the tasty truth.
Yeah, it's that simple, guys. See, so now we're gonna go into the website side. So let's get this going. I don't know if you can see it there. Sorry, guys, a little unprepared, but I promise on next time I'll get it ready. And here I thought I was ready to go, and I forgot I closed my windows. But this is it. This is a Hardstyle Maniacs website. And as you can see, there's just a shop, events, news, podcasts, DJs, tours, etc. Contact us. And I've already got some posts up there, legitimate articles out there, so they're not fillers. And this is where we focus more on everything that Hardstyle Maniacs is all about. I've created some little shop for you guys to support the channel, to support the Hardstyle Maniacs movement. I'll design some more shirts, but here's the first design.
That's sick.
So it captures, the American flag, obviously, because we're in the Americas side of the globe. But this is kind of what we're at. We're Hardstyle America. Basically, we're going to focus on everything on this side of the globe, which is related to hard dance. So we want to be that hub that captures everything related to hard dance in the United States, obviously Canada, Central and South America as well. However, it takes time to develop, so we're going to keep growing it. So I also made it for females, so it's a unisex shirt, and it's available on the website now. That's the front there with our Hardstyle Maniacs symbol logo. And here's a little from our previous flyer. But this is it, guys. Been working really hard to get this website up, and we just want to make sure that you guys have all the available updates, fashion, anything that's going on with tours, and related to the hard dance here in the United States, and especially news. So we want to make sure we capture the news that's related to hard dance primarily, but additionally, when you have something spilling from any other than hard dance in the realm of EDM, we also want to capture it, especially when we have such big headlining news, such as DJ Magic will be reporting to you in a quick second. Why don't we just get into that right now?
Sure. And while you're bringing up that link, people want to become a contributor. They want to become, someone that writes news for Hardstyle Maniacs. They can hit you up on the contact us portion of the website as well.
That is correct. That is available and a working feature. So you just contact us and we'll make arrangements to get the contribution content.
Perfect.
So, SoFi.
Yeah. So a few things, like there's not a lot of information about this particular incident that went down. I'd like to preference that. And if you or anyone that you know that's having a hard time, maybe needing some professional help, apparently there's where was that website? I just had it back up. Let me bring up my phone. The 988, call 988 on your phone, suicide and crisis helpline. I don't know if drugs were related. I don't know if this person was just deciding to take a swim, at 9 o'clock at night in the beginning of a tropical storm. But apparently there was an individual that decided to go swimming out in front of the SoFi Stadium. And that's all the information that was given. Security saw him go into the water, and when they went to go locate him, they found he was deceased. So, if someone that, it's important, we have a responsibility, I think, in the community to keep an eye on each other. And it's not uncommon for people to desire an altered perception whenever they go to these events. Maybe he wasn't allowed in. Who knows? There's a lot of factors that maybe got kicked out. Who knows exactly what the details are. Maybe he had nothing to do with the event at all, and it just so happened to be that he was in the area and whatnot. But I do think that it's important that, especially in relation to the event, I don't think that it's unrelated that there was unfortunately a tragedy at this event, and it kind of underplays all the fun that everybody was having to a certain extent. Play the article, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Here's a quick little news clip from the local news in Southern California.
A 19-year-old man drowned in the lake outside SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Security officers say they watched the teen enter the lake just before 9:30 last night and started swimming. Moments later, he went underwater and did not resurface. The lake is up to 20 feet deep in some spots. Firefighters and lifeguards searched for the man. Eventually, they found his body. This was around 11 p.m. His identity has not been released. This is not the first time someone has drowned in the lake outside SoFi. Another man drowned in July 2022 after trespassing in the early morning hours.
Yeah, so it's pretty real, people. Be careful. I know, like Magic said here, we're out there, we're having a great time, we're under the influence of alcohol and God knows what, but we have to watch out for each other. These, especially SoFi, it's not really a lake. It's basically a man-made circulation of water, so it doesn't turn green. So there's these massive drains at the bottom that are just sucking water down, so that way the algae doesn't build. It's not your typical refreshing, body of water. So be careful out there. Don't jump into these man-made little ponds. They are not meant to be swimming into. Just saying.
Right, and that's one of the things that I was actually thinking. Is there any signs? I don't remember, to be honest. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just went from my car inside the gate. Let's go. Let's have some fun, And whenever I left, I think it was later on in the night, someone texted me, "Hey, did you hear about what happened?" It's like, fuck, that's crazy, So it's definitely something that we need to be aware of. I think there might be a need for a fence out there. It might change the topography or the view a little bit, but just out of safety for people, just because otherwise, I don't know. To be honest, I don't even remember seeing the lake out there. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was just so quick about trying to get through security, find out where the pit was and start having fun. But the thing that kind of blows my mind is that they said that security just sat there and watched him go into the lake, like at that point, hey, you can't be here, it's dangerous, leave, contact fire department right away, police department right away. There was police everywhere on the site, like there were security everywhere. So the fact that it took from, did they say the time frame on that one? I thought that they did, right?
Yeah, was
maybe
too busy on my own little world trying to organize the here, but they found him after 11 o'clock, so he was in there for quite some time, so it's kind of like they spent the whole majority of the day looking for the body. And back to the police side and security side, at least, even policing. So for security, there are limitations to what they can and cannot do. For the most part, liability insurance only allows them to observe and report, so they're not really supposed to go in there and do search and rescue. In terms of police, anybody else, firefighters as well, not just law enforcement, but even civilians who are out there who feel the right thing to do is to jump in and save someone. Sometimes it could be conflicting because in these uncertain chartered waters, to be that literally, you don't know what's underneath there. What's the power of the suction? You're going to go in and try to save someone and you're going to just lose your life as well.
Sure.
It's a very fine line of what you can and can't do to be a hero. And quite frankly, I think this call from no one else jumping in was the right call, only for safety concern, because, think about that for a second. He got sucked in and never seen again. So they had to turn off all the pumps.
Oh, that's probably true.
So we'll leave it at that for now. I know it's a gray area. Just be careful, everybody, when you're out there at these festivals and looking at these man-made ponds or water fountains and et cetera, et cetera. Unless it's a wishing well, don't jump in.
Especially if it's a wishing well. Do you know how skinny those things are?
Well, you're only gonna do is break a leg or a bone or just whatever, but you're not gonna really, someone could go rescue you there. It's not encouraged, but don't do it. But if you're going to do something dumb, at least look at the obvious facts of safety here. Reckless is dumb. We were all that at one point in time in our life, but we just have to be very, very careful on what we do. And friends out there, those designated drivers or lookouts that are part of the Brave families, keep an eye on your people. If someone is definitely way out of hand, please focus on them more and or get them to a safe place so that way they're not a liability to themselves or others as well.
For sure, for sure.
So let's get into some music. I know that we're usually trying to get little tunes in here, but this one is something we were going to play last week on the episode. We just happened to run out of time, and I wanted to make it a priority to make sure we got this track first, out of respect to the artists that we know. We're always trying to help people, like we say, from our core values of Hardstyle Maniacs. This one is The Buckness, Deep at Night.
So deep at night, so deep at night. deep at night. So 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 deep at So deep at So deep at night. Cause I'm in love, can you feel me deep at night? Running to your arms, gonna get away. It's in my heart that I'm dreaming so deep at night. Love you too hard till you scream my name. It's in my soul, getting close, can't sleep at night. And nothing's gonna bring us down. So deep at night. So deep at night. Cause I'm in love, can you feel me deep at night? Running to your arms, gonna get away. It's in my heart that I'm dreaming so deep at night. Love you too hard till you scream my name. It's in my soul, getting close, can't sleep at night. And nothing's gonna bring us down. So deep at night. So deep at night. So deep at night. Cause I'm in love, can you feel me deep at night? Running to your arms, gonna get away. It's in my heart that I'm dreaming so deep at night. Love you too hard till you scream my name. It's in my soul, getting close, can't sleep at night. And nothing's gonna bring us down. So deep at night. So deep at night. So deep at night. So deep at night.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll
Shit's
be honest
sick.
with you, when you send me that track, I don't like to listen to all the tracks that you send me, especially if it's a new artist or something, because I want to hear it for the first time on the show. And then this is a classic example of this as well. So yeah, this one had me rolling. I had to even check the volume settings. I had a little peaking in the beginning of the track. I didn't even realize that because I was too busy over here going off. And monitor, I'm like, oh shoot, I see some peaking. Let me clear that real quick. So you might see some adjustments or hear some adjustments during the middle of the track when that bass was just hitting, ran that drop.
Thumping.
Post that, but great track. Definitely something that I was excited to show. Last week we didn't get to show it, but I'm glad we started off with that one today. Definitely got the mood going back here. So
Hell
good
yeah.
the artist, man. So be sure to follow him on YouTube.
Yeah. The Buckness, he's awesome. I'm pretty sure the reason I chose it for last week was because the first time I saw him was at the Exchange. We'd been talking about what was going on at the Exchange. And so shout out to him there. And also, I'm pretty sure he did Hardstyle Arena. He was another artist that I've been able to see at HSA. I'm not 100% sure that we were able to get him out there yet or not, but definitely something I think that he would be a great opportunity at Hardstyle Maniacs in Vegas.
I was just about to say that. He took the words right out of my mouth. So let's keep an eye on it.
We'll talk to him.
All right, so back to the core topic now. We were going to discuss artist management and, the concerns in the market, not just from event organizers, but, the overall scene, well, at least in the West Coast, because it's really where it affects us more, even though it's spread out to the U.S. We're going to really discuss it more, what affects us directly. And as we get more information from other regions of the United States, then we'll discuss their topics and concerns. So if you have issues with booking artists, especially when you have these radiuses that are just ridiculous, in my opinion, reach out to us. Let's discuss this. Let's open this dialogue and see what we can expose or at least raise concerns, but how we can fix that in the market so that we can get some more new artists up there.
Discuss solutions, right? Because that really, I can understand both sides of it. So I don't know. First off, what do you think the biggest issue as a promoter is whenever you're trying to get an artist?
For me personally, experiencing Hardstyle Maniacs, it was the radius that revolves around Insomniac because we're focusing on the core mainstream artists that are circulating within our current time frame. You want to say 90% plus is under the Insomniac umbrella.
Sure.
So when I have a show that I want to do, for example, in April, well, if you want, let's say Geo, because he's performing at the Academy this weekend. Let's just use him as a reference. Mm-hmm. I want to use Geo for my headline. I want to use Darksiderz, or any other, Insomniac artist. And when I reach out to management, sorry, under contract obligations, they're not allowed to perform between this period because of EDC Las Vegas. So it kind of really creates that barrier that, okay, well, who else is out there? So now I'm finding to scramble to find talent that's going to bring, attendees to the show and give them a great performance. And most of them are familiar with Insomniac artists. So what I'm doing, well, with you as well, now we're looking into the international aspect of things. So,
sure.
If you can't find something local, we're going to be bringing international artists. And that kind of creates more of a out-of-pocket expense, which is why a lot of these promoters out there are not doing shows. Back to our previous podcast,
sure,
where we're discussing capital. And it's true, because when it comes to booking an artist, you have to obviously pay him for his set. You got to do the ride, which is a flight per diem, basically hotel. And if he's an international, you got to give him a couple extra days because of jet lag situations. You can't just fly in from the Netherlands here, arrive here in Las Vegas at 6 p.m., flying back to wherever he comes in.
Sure.
That's not how it works. So these are additional that are incurred, which is not a bad thing too. Don't get me wrong. We love the international artists. This is something that is very important. We have to bring avenues from, overseas, because it's a relationship that we're building, and we want that, and we will continue that. But in terms of some smaller promoters, it's very difficult for them to find that money that was going to cover these costs. Sponsors, back to our previous podcast, on a certain event that may or may not produce revenue or profits, should I say.
Well, let me ask you, let's go back to your initial concern about the radius. How long is the radius? Because obviously the radius means a certain distance, but I also assume that there's a certain period of time. So if he's playing, let's use Geo, for example, and he's playing EDC, and you wanted to bring him in April, okay, well, that might not work. When would be the soonest time after EDC that you would be able to book him, theoretically?
Well, for me, you want to get your event in spring. Spring and pre-winter, that's kind of like the market for me, especially when it comes to Las Vegas.
Well, no, I mean, like, his contract, what I'm saying is that I assume that his contract not only says that there's a certain distance from, let's say, the
Las Vegas EDC, let's call that the core.
Las Vegas EDC, yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And well, what I was thinking of was a speedway. I was trying to remember exactly where it was. So there's so many miles from the speedway that he can't perform, but then there's also a certain period of time from EDC that he can't perform. Is that 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? How long is he prohibited from coming back to Vegas?
From my understanding, it was 3 and 3 post and 3 prior. So you got
Okay,
6.
so a 6-month window.
So basically, and that's, again, this is something that I've been coming across, and unless I actually discuss this with their management, because there's another point that I'm trying to do is, I know I've worked with Insomniac people on other divisions of the Insomniac brand, and I'm not going to mention their names, but I'm close friends with them, and they're always telling me, hey, good job on your stuff. We love what you're doing. Keep it up. But then when you're trying to book artists, it's a different avenue. It's not EDC directly that you have to go through, or Insomniac, to book these artists. They have a management side. And again, not going to mention any names, but not just them as well. You have to go through them. And there's no and ifs or buts. This is basically how the channel works. You have to go through that specific route to get to these artists. And on top of that, if you're a smaller artist, for the most part, they're probably not going to get back to you. I mean, most of the time say, hey, well, I'm interested in booking so-and-so for a show. Here, this is what we're offering for the show, for the artist. And it's crickets, weeks, follow-ups, nothing. So it makes it very difficult to build these shows in an aspect with these artists that are already here available to us locally. And so that's what really creates the roadblocks. And it kind of puts just, a halt in our scene. So this is kind of where we're trying to find that solution to where, okay, well, if we can't use these artists from that avenue, fine. They're contractually obligated. There's nothing one can do. That's just the way it is. They signed the dotted line. But in terms of Hardstyle Maniacs, okay, well, if we're not going to use their avenue because of certain restrictions, well, that's fine. I appreciate them. Doing a great job in the scene. But I'm going to go look in a different avenue. And that's where you come in as an unsigned artist, an upcoming artist, someone who has following, someone who's already established, put in work, and is really capturing their local market by storm, who just needs that bump. Well, guess what? We're going to be that bump. We're going to help you grow. We're going to try to fly you out to Las Vegas to the shows. We're going to also do multiple state shows. We're going to fly you out to Los Angeles, anywhere else we could think of, partnering and collaborating with other promoters to really help the scene grow from that avenue going forward. So on top of that, bringing in international headliners. So see, this is kind of where we're working around things. So there is a way if there's a will. So now we just need those sponsors. Okay, who's willing to drop money? Well, that's kind of another homework, right? So what are we doing here at Hardstyle Maniacs? What we're doing is, okay, well, if we can't find the sponsors, we're going to make ourselves sponsor.
Sure.
That's why we're doing the website. We're doing the news. We're doing everything we can do so we try to generate revenue so that we can develop these massive, massive events here in the United States. And that's kind of what the core premises of Hardstyle Maniacs is as well. If we can't use certain avenues, we're going to make our own avenues. And that's kind of the
crowdsource it.
Yes. And this is also lessons for you. So if you want something, don't let someone stop you. If you feel and you believe in your product, your music, your production, your DJing, anything to do with hardstyle, and it's in you and it's the core of what you do, then go for it. Don't let anybody stop you. We're not letting anybody stop us, so we shouldn't let you believe that anyone can stop you either. So that's I
think I'm understanding better because I've heard of this, but I've never seen it really in practice. So what you're saying is if there's a 3-month before and a 3-month after window, then what they end up doing is they'll book the artist twice per year in each city, 3 months apart, which puts a 3-month, which is basically a year. And then the artist is limited to only 2 performances per year in that area. But it kind of makes sense too, though, because if you, let's say, brought someone in, in October, like we had our last show in October, you wouldn't necessarily want them to be there a month later or a month before you either, because people will have just seen that artist, right? Isn't that really what it's meant to do, is to make sure that the artist is still fresh and that the promoter has the greatest likelihood of bringing in the largest crowd?
Well, it all depends. I mean, that one has two sides. For me personally, I'm about helping the artist and the artist exposure. The more exposure the artist gets, the better his career is, and that's kind of what we're doing. And when his or her career is better, the market is better because they're being booked in different locations, and yes, granted that for these artists here that are already established, they don't need the second or third booking. They're already established artists, but let's say you have an upcoming artist, like for example, Do or Die from Los Angeles, right? The most phenomenal DJs you could see on performance wise. Now, if he stops performing in Los Angeles because he did a Hardstyle Arena show last week, how is that going to hurt him on his local side? I just seen him at a Hardstyle Arena side, so why am I going to see him over here in Anaheim now? Where, I can just go see him at a Hardstyle Arena in LA. No, he's got to keep going. He's got to keep building, and that's kind of where the logic on my side is, okay, well, if Geo just performing here in Las Vegas, let's say last year, we could bring him in a year later. That's fine. But, you bring Do or Die, who performed in October in Las Vegas, I'd bring him back in December again.
Okay.
Get that momentum going for him. It's all about, just getting these artists out there and keeping them.
It's a balance, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it? Because, I mean, like, in Vegas, you have residencies, for instance. Like, I know this isn't EDM related, but Donny Osmond, that fucker is performing every other day. You know what I mean? Like,
local,
if
say right now.
Sure, if your brand can sustain that sort of growth, it shouldn't be a problem. So that's where I think that it's weird that artists would pigeonhole themselves into only being able to perform twice per year in a particular demographic market. But I also understand at the same time that you don't want to oversaturate yourself, right? So,
and again, it's just a matter of just evenly, sprinkle them a little bit here, a little bit there, a little more. If you're an artist that's upcoming, you're going to sprinkle them a little bit more, right? Because you want to develop them. Sure. So if you have an established artist, you don't need to sprinkle them 3 or 4 times in Vegas a year. It's just not going to happen. You're going to kill that brand. Because, why am I going to go see, like, for example, Little Texas? Little Texas is going to be here for EDC. He just did a tour in Las Vegas here at Area 15. He does his techno stuff here in downtown Las Vegas. So he's consistently here. So the mentality is, well, why am I going to go see him during his techno sets, on a smaller scale venue when I could see him at EDC or I could see him performing again on his tour? So that's kind of, that's where, to the point before, you're diluting his brand because he's always here, but he's already established name.
Sure. The only caveat I'd say to that, it would be an artist like Thera. Shout out to our first episode. Thera is such a versatile, right? He's such a versatile artist that you can see him 5 different times and get 5 completely different performances and 5 completely different experiences, So, and even for Illenium last night, going from the set 1, set 2, set 3 to the live show where he had artists coming out and playing live instruments, guitar, drums, live singers, stuff like that. They are different performances. I don't know if I would have necessarily went to see Illenium 3 separate times to get each of those different sets, but to see it all at one time with the lasers and everything else, that was pretty fucking awesome. Thera, I've seen 6 times, and every time is just amazing. It's a different experience every time you get to see him. So I could definitely see both sides of it.
Let's take a quick moment and put a track, and we'll continue this conversation.
Sounds great.
All right, let's go with some. Let's do some Sub-Zero. I got Sub-Zero queued up here with Brian Powell, and I'm just gonna refuse to speak on this one.
Hey.
In and out my head, I live in fantasies, in phantom galaxies of what my mind tells me. No matter what they say, a voice in double speak that's almost clear to me, but language a mystery. They say what kills us makes us stronger, the fear that pulls you under, the phantom I refuse to see, the lies in which you conjure. Can't take this any longer. I'll never know, but I refuse to speak.
Yo.
What is up? That was fucking crazy.
That energy, man. That energy. We need that energy. We want that energy. Not that we need it. We want it. We're gonna make it.
I don't know. I need it.
Well, I guess
it's one of the
it
small
happened
pleasures
because
of
we
life.
need it. How's
you know
that?
what I'm saying?
Well,
One of
yeah.
the small
So
pleasures of life.
back to the continuing the topic here. So so this is kind of where it puts the hurdle on promoters looking to use these established artists. Now, the reason why we want established artists obviously is because they're going to sell tickets. People are going to want to see them, but we're going to develop a show for them that's going to be great first and foremost. So this is kind of where everybody, well, my personal opinion is that, this is where a lot of roadblocks, especially with other management too. So for example, here's something else. Artists where we're reaching out to their management and, hey, you know what? We don't know what they cost. We're talking about, these guys are just starting, right? These promoters that are just starting, hey, you know what? I want to get that artist. They reach out to the artist and, hey, you know what? I'm so I want to do a show. How much does your artist cost? And you get these responses like, well, how much you got?
Well, and I think that's fair. I think it's fair to have a starting point, right?
I understand it. Okay. Give me a range. Give me a range. Well, if you want to use my so-and-so artist, this is the value of that so-and-so artist.
Sure,
it starts at there to here. That's the range. Plus, your per diem, your ride. So give us or give them or give anyone asking these questions something to work with. Small guys are going to come up with, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000 budgets, artists, and that's for the entire lineup. So
okay, but as an artist, I can also understand you can undercut yourself sometimes.
Yes, I agree.
So I've gone to promoters and they've asked me, what's your cost? How much is it going to be? And I was like, I don't know, what's the average price of someone on the lineup? Understanding that I'm not on the top end of the lineup, but I'm also not necessarily on the bottom end of the lineup either. And their average cost was not what I was expecting. And so I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take that, right? Versus maybe an artist that has been more established and they're going to say, well, okay, I hear where your average is and I'm going to expect a little bit more above average. This is what my writer is going to be, right? A lot of people, they'll put specific things in the writers to make sure that they're being read and everything is being adhered to, for lack of a better word. So I can understand from an artist's perspective that they may want to see, okay, well, where's the budget at for your show first, right? Because obviously, if I'm going to Insomniac and EDC versus Hardstyle Maniacs, I'm going to necessarily be able to expect that Insomniac's going to be able to pay more than a smaller promoter that's just starting out their first few shows, right? So that's definitely a conversation. Now, if I'm understanding what you're saying correctly, once you had that, or once that initial conversation was had, is okay, well, this is what our budget was. There was no counter offer, right? I think that's definitely a source of frustration. If you're like, no, I really like this artist. I'm open to paying more, but I'm kind of trying to see what you guys would feel is reasonable. And they come back with well, just keep giving us numbers until we find something that we like. Is that what was going on, or what?
Well, yeah, you find yourself, okay, well, let's just for rounding number, let's say it's $100. Not that's a number that we're going to offer on any level. You got John Doe, promoter saying, hey, I want artists here. Here's an offer of $100 for the set. And then you get crickets. Okay. Well, then you follow up. Hey, well, that's not reasonable. You hear back from management company. That's unfortunately, that's too low. Come back with another number. Okay, 200.
Right.
We can play this game all day long until I get the number you're looking for. But wouldn't it be easier to say, hey, you know what? My artist's value is $1,000. Now, when I go to a store, I say, hey, how much is that burger over there? Well, it says it's $5.99. Well, is it? You know, is it really $5.99 or that's just a starting number? How am I supposed to pay for something if you don't tell me a number for it?
Yeah,
You see the
but
budget?
again, you're conflating a little bit because as an artist, I'm not a piece of food or
Well, you're a product though. You are a
burger.
product.
Yeah,
You're a brand. You're a
and my
product. You're a service.
my product is going to be variable depending on the size of the venue, depending on, you know what I mean. There's going to be factors that are going to go into how much I'm going to charge you. You know,
Right.
if you're going to have 100-person venue like we did at our first Hardstyle Maniacs, that's one thing. If it's going to be a 400,000-person venue like, you know, EDC, then obviously that's a different conversation that we're going to have.
Right. Now you could also offer the okay, it's $1,000 plus I'll give you X amount after ticket sales threshold.
Sure.
See, then that's when the negotiation begins though. See, but that's something that you have to you got to engage that conversation with management. You can't waste 4 or 5 months of finding the right number that's going to make them say, "Hey, now we're talking."
Right.
If I'm a
I agree with
management,
that.
I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time. Okay. If I say, like, I have a print business, right? A guy says, "Hey, I need 100 shirts. I need this logo on it. I need it to be on a white shirt, and I want it done in 2 weeks." Okay, great. Give me a minute. Send me the logo so I can see what you're working with. He sends me the logo. I do my homework. Okay, great, bro. This is what it's going to cost you for 1,000 shirts. On top of that, if you want a little bit more, I'll discount if you add 200 shirts. These are my numbers. So again, I value myself. I understand where that person's coming from. He wants shirts. Okay, great. You're looking to pay, $1.50 a shirt. That's not going to happen. You want $1.50 to happen? You got to buy 1,000 shirts. But it's upfront. I'm clear with the customer. That doesn't happen with what you're looking for. What you're looking for is you're looking for this range. You're paying $6-7 a shirt. That's what you're shopping for. That's basically the industry. And so it's my job to know what my product is worth based on the variables that the customer gives me. Similar to the industry where, okay, well, I have an artist that I'm selling to the public to perform, and a promoter says, okay, I have a venue that's 100 people. I have, I'm establishing, new brand. Okay, so we got a newcomer who's looking to build themselves. Okay, great. You know what? This is what my artist costs. This is what, if you want to perform for you, this is what it's going to cost you. Done. Now, on the other side of the coin, as a promoter, you're like, oh, finally, I have a big name. I'm going to have him at my show. That's going to put value on his program now. So he might get more sponsorships. He might get more money. He'll definitely sell more tickets. Okay, great. See, now that's where you have to put things into perspective. You don't want to go as an established artist to a venue that's empty. Well, period. That's kind of where I see the logic on the other side of the coin. So, but that name's going to fill up that little venue. So it's kind of like a catch-22 situation. Well, I can't give you my artist unless you provide me proof you're going to bring in a crowd. But the guy who's going to bring out the crowd is the guy's managing.
Well, and that was something that you and I were talking about before as well, though, because just because you can sell out the venue in Los Angeles doesn't mean you're going to sell out the venue in Vegas either.
Exactly.
So there's a little bit of a variable that comes into play there. I understand what you're saying, and if I remember correctly, that was somewhat of an interesting conversation.
Yes.
Where it was just like, give me some guidance. Like I'm new to the conversation. Let's figure out how this is.
Let's meet somewhere in the middle, guys. Come on, let's work.
Yeah.
So to all you artists out there, management side, it's okay to discuss it. Give us your range. Give us your terms of conditions. If you want my artist, this is what I need from you guys. These are the expectations I'm laying out on the table, and these are the financial responsibilities from your side of the aisle. If you meet those expectations, then we'll engage in the conversation for future negotiations.
Sure, and whenever if I remember correctly, I talked to one of my friends about that, and they said, well, it sounds like they're trying to politely tell you that you're not in their
range, and it's okay.
Budget, yeah.
Get it.
Just tell me, you know what, you guys aren't in our budget, come back and talk to us in a year, you know what I mean?
Maybe it's not the budget. Maybe you guys aren't well established just yet, because that's a criteria too. So keep working if you're a promoter, and keep working, keep doing shows, grab your local talent, keep pushing your name out there. Eventually, you're going to be at the level in terms of, brand recognition where you guys say, okay, well, now let's talk to them about getting some artists out there, because now they have a crowd, they're following.
Sure.
So that's kind of where, I'm just saying at this particular topic, if you're on the management side, just tell them, hey, we're not ready for you, or you're not ready for us. We expect a little bit more brand recognition from any promoter that works with my artist. And that gives that promoter an incentive. Okay, great. You said no. I respect you for being direct and upfront with me. So now I got a little more work to do.
Sure.
So
Definitely better to be honest and upfront as opposed to trying to guess.
Yes. And I think we're running out of time here. We got about 10 minutes left in the show, and I want to put in 2 more tracks.
All right, let's go.
I want to put in a lot more, to be honest with you, but I'm going to go with GEO next, because he is performing next week at the Academy, and that should be an exciting show. So this is actually one of his not newer tracks, but it's a little more recent within the couple of years. I like it, so if you're familiar with GEO, he's featuring Just Robin, and it's called Cold War. Enjoy it, guys.
God damn.
Damn. Woo-hoo-hoo, shit. That was good.
I almost fell out of my chair right there.
Don't even fall off just yet, because we got something special going on for everybody who's watching. You want to fall off the chair, you gotta make sure you listen to this next guy. But guess what? We're gonna call him.
What's up? Oh shoot, we got him?
We're gonna call him.
Nice.
So I'm gonna call him on live. I'm gonna call. You're gonna hear this shit like actual phone call.
All right. While you're doing that, February 9th, 10 p.m. at the Academy in LA, GEO and Markor and Misfits.
I told you we're gonna call him.
Hell yeah.
What else can you do except Hardstyle Maniacs? Hello.
What's up?
Yo.
The one and only Markor, in case you need to know. This guy is full of insanity when it comes to performance.
That's
How
right.
you doing?
How you guys doing?
Good. We're excited to have you on the show, man. First of all, again, thank you for being part of the Hardstyle Maniacs in Las Vegas, man. You killed it. We love it, and we can't wait to have you out here again.
Oh, thanks, man. I had a blast, man. Thanks for having me out. And I hope I can get out there soon again, man. I love Vegas.
Who doesn't, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. But you got something very exciting coming up here in the next week or so. Tell us a little about it. What you got?
Yeah, so I got asked to play at the Loft at Academy in LA for the GEO show for BASSCON. And I'm trying to get as many people out there to support. You know, we want to get Markor on that main stage, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is the way to do it.
Hell yeah. So in case you're watching it, make sure that you buy your tickets via the Markor link he's sharing on his social media platforms. Let's get him on those lineups. Let's get him on BASSCON. Let's make him part of the success in the United States when it comes to the hardcore stuff. Come on, everybody. Make sure your boy Markor is taken care of.
That's right.
Hey, so what do you got going on? You were
in a podcast now. I think America needs more hard dance support like this. Now that like there's all this hard techno, seems like hard techno is getting the hard dance family, and we can all hardcore, hard style, raw style, up tempo. We can all come together, and hopefully make this bigger in the States.
Absolutely, that is our goal, and with everybody's support, by supporting Hardstyle Maniacs and the local artists of the United States, we can make it happen. We want to be that hub for the United States when it comes to all this hard dance and hardcore. You're contributing to this thing amazingly. We are very proud of you. We can't wait to see you blow up, not only on the local stages, but on the main stages across the globe.
So that's the goal, man. I mean, that's what I think what's cool about this GEO party. I mean, if you look at the lineup, it's GEO, Darksiderz, CGK. We got Misfits, we got me, dude. Everybody on this lineup is USA, and we need the locals to come and support. Show that, like, we all have it. We can do this in the USA as big as they do it in Europe, especially, we'd love to be the size of Holland. That's the goal.
We definitely have the real estate for it. We just need to put everybody in this one little spot.
Right? Exactly. And I mean, you see Australia is doing it big now too. And so I think it's possible. It's definitely possible for the States to do it.
Absolutely. And the only way to get there is with artists like yourself to keep pushing in that work, guys. Keep producing music, keep performing, and keep expanding your brand and getting that social media recognition. And without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you again for being such a part of this, a huge part of it, especially in the Southern California side and the West Coast of it. Hopefully we'll get you out to the East Coast and really, really, really just spread your name nationwide on top of all the Americas as well. Just keep pushing it, bro. We love what you're doing. I can't say it enough.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and it's like, promo, big shout out to the boss, man, being a part of the third movement in Holland, which had a big influence in the hardcore scene, across the globe. I mean, especially in Holland, but being a part of that, talking with him, taking my sound kind of in a new direction. It's been, in the past, like kind of mainstream industrial style. I am definitely going more, 200 BPM, trying to fit everything into it, from industrial, up tempo, mainstream, and so that way we can just all come together, because I hate to see that divide, you know.
Yes.
Because I love all the styles, you know. That's me. So my Markor sound is bringing my style of hardcore to it all, which will bring variety of it all. And you know, that's what I want. I want everybody to come to my set, enjoy it all, you know. Can start from anywhere from 190, 160, always end at 200 plus, you know.
That's right. Make sure you have your hype pacers on in case you need a little boost.
Exactly. But I want to let you guys know, I can finally announce it. Promo asked me to do a remix for him, and that will be coming out pretty soon, within I think at the end of this month. I got to do a photo shoot later for it, and then there's some other little surprises coming later this year too. So you guys will be hearing more about me out there as well, you know, doing things out there, and we're gonna get LA on the map, get USA on the map, you know.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Tell our followers how they can follow you on social media. Give us all your plugins, man. Give everybody how to follow you.
Yeah. Everything, you know, I'm mostly active on Instagram, so Instagram.com/DJ Markor. I do a little bit on TikTok, but everything is at DJ Markor. Facebook as well, but if you want to catch me, I'm mostly on Instagram. You can DM me. I'm good at responding. I'm going to have some merch coming out pretty soon, so take a look for that on my Instagram.
Very exciting stuff. Very exciting.
Thank you for that announcement.
You guys for everything you do. I know today's been a tight schedule for me. I got all these things, talking to promo today that I got to finish up, and then get ready, some special edits for the show, and I got a new song that I got to finish mastering. So I can't wait to just see the crowd reaction with all this new stuff I got.
Absolutely, and we can't wait to hear it.
I'll be there.
Send us your press releases. We'll announce it on our website. We have a new media outlet as well, so we will be releasing anything that's part of the United States and making a news platform that's anything hard dance related. And we would love to have all your press releases on there to ensure that you get the maximum exposure. And we can't wait, man. We really can't wait. Very exciting, you know. And we got one track for you. We're gonna play one of your tracks if that's okay.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Yeah, which one are you guys playing?
They Control.
Oh yeah, that's an awesome one, man. I sampled Rage Against the Machine on that one, and that's one of my favorite bands.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a perfect timing for that release to come out. I think I started writing that like before the pandemic, and I was showing it to Promo, and he was like, "Ooh, I like this." And the pandemic came out, and he was like, "Oh man, you got to release this now."
Right.
Sick.
But yeah, dude, it's a good one. It has that mainstream industrial sound to it, so I hope you guys like it. But yeah, hardcore for life, baby.
Awesome. In case you're wondering, that's Markor. Be sure to follow him. Thank you for being on the show, and thank you for your support. And we look forward to having you in Las Vegas again.
Yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Let's get me out there. We're gonna blow Vegas up, man. Yeah, the city that never sleeps, right?
You know, before we put on your song and we cut you loose so that way you can continue doing your business, you know, let's get together after the Academy show and do a post-show podcast if you'd like. You know, we do the video screening. We'll get your perspective from what happened in the show and your reaction to it. And we'd love to show some video clips you got going on. We want to show everybody what it is to be at a Markor show. You know, and let them show that, you know, hey, this is what it's all about. You know, come see me, because next time you see me, this is exactly what I'm going to deliver for you guys again.
Yeah, I definitely could do that, you know. I'm down. Now that I've given up drinking right now, I won't be hungover, so it sounds good.
Nice. Good, healthy life.
Listen to that, bro. Good job, man. Keep it up, man.
Thanks, bro.
That's great to hear, man. So without further ado, here is Markor's track, They Control. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Hardstyle Maniacs. Thank you, Markor, for tuning in. G-Magic, thank you again for your work. Here we go, guys. See you next week.
Bye.